You'll nip these up even and keep making sure that the crank is free as you do it. Which it is. Once again, the torque for these is going to be pretty FT. I've temporarily put the flywheel back on just so I can turn it over to get it to tighten these big end bearings. That's one. That's the other one there. They're nice and tight now. I put a couple of split pins straight in. Feels nice that. Isn't it? In this day and age, Nissan still use split pins on some of their steering joints, on some of the four-wheel drive stuff. I've got all the old gasket off there. I've got some thickish cardboard. It's about the same thickness as the original head gasket. We'll make a gasket out of that. Just use the same method of tapping around it. Got a nice sharp edge. We'll get the stud hose done first, just the same. Just get the bolts to screw into there. Got a nice sharp edge, so it is cutting already. Right, so that's the outside the shape. Now what the inside bit doing, just find the edge of the ball. And just gently. I might trim that with a craft knife just to get the last little slivers off it. I'll just put a T on there, mark the top as well, because I imagine the stud pattern will be the same, but you never know. T for top. T for twister. Again, we'll keep that bit. Pull them little bits of cardboard out of there. I took quite a few parts to work this morning and got them cleaned up. I had them soaking in a drum with some transport cleaner in, TFR remover. It's actually taken the paint off, so they've cleaned up quite nicely. These are the crankcase breathers. The wire mesh goes into there, and a top hat that goes over the top, and that's what you call a crankcase breather. The valve plate cleaned up nice, as did the cylinder head. I've also made the two gaskets, so basically we can put the cylinder head back together. The close-up shot there, the valves are just tin shim valves. And that valve there, underneath that locking nut, there's a shape-proof washer, exactly the same as what's on the big end bolts. One or two people have mentioned that they think the washers have been added extra. I think it's the way it was built. When I stripped this down, it hadn't been stripped before. You can tell when something comes apart. There was no damage to any nut heads, it was all as it had been put together. But there is one of those washers under there. See that side of the valves? That's the exhaust valve. That'll be the inlet valve. Right, we've got enough bits cleaned up that we're going to put the cylinder head back on. Put a little bit of oil down the bore. If you wind the piston up and down, and the little bits of gasket material are shite that are getting down onto the top ring, they'll stick up to the top. Then you can wipe them out. I haven't had the piston out of the barrel. There was no need to. There's just no wear anywhere. It's done very little work, this. Right. We've got the gasket we made earlier. Just grease, that's all I'm going to put on. I used to use horrible things, stag and tretite, nasty stuff. All it needs is grease. Used to build mini engines, competition mini engines with a copper asbestos head gasket, and just put grease on and use the gasket more than once as well without any problems at all. Right, so we've got our grease on there. And we've got our valve plate, which is all nicely cleaned up. Cylinder head gasket. Which goes onto there. And the cylinder head. I've cleaned the bolts up on the wire wheels to get any rust and dirt off them. I've also run a tap into the holes in the barrel just to clean them up. It all started, it sort of lines itself up. tightening them up, just tighten nice and even, diagonally. You need to tighten this and then let it stand for a while, and then tighten it again as the gasket material compresses. Once again, I think the total just be FT. Right, it's making the vacuum pump noises now. You can hear the valves opening and closing. It's sucking vacuum. Makes lovely noises. These are the crankcase breathers. I had them at work today, soaking in acid. They've come up actually amazingly clean. It's even taken the paint off. Bit of perforated metal there, bit of gauze. The ends all been soldered up. That simply fits into there. Goes into there. And the cap goes on. And it's held in with a couple of grub screws. And the castings are really rough. Roughly finished. I'm just going to leave them like that, try and keep it authentic. And I think when they built this originally, it was designed to last forever. And there's not much going to go wrong with that, is there? When you think what a vacuum pump looks like now, or a crankcase breather looks like now. It's even a nice shape. It just looks nice. Nicely finished, nice to look at. I think that's what they did when the days when this was built, probably in the 40s. They made things pleasing to the eye as well as very practical and functional. Not like the modern shite we've got now. That's some of it anyway. This was actually chucked solid with carbon and oil and all kinds inside of there. That has to take it out nicely. I think what we'll do next, probably take the flywheel off, give it all a good wash off, probably in brake cleaner, just to get the oil off it, and then give it a coat of green paint. Then put the crankcase breathers back on. I've got a friend with a big lathe. I might put the flywheel on his big lathe and just polish the face up a little bit. Put some oil in it. It says I've got to use Manus compressor oil, whatever that is. I would imagine 1040 will probably do the job. I was going to say, it sounds a bit like we're last on a night time, but I better not. I think I might have lost the plot. Bit like the Sailorman, you think? Yeah, you're going to laugh.